Welcome back to Adventures in Freeze Drying. And today I am so excited. My cousin Nikki, who lives in Naples, Florida, sent me a box full of dragon fruit. So happy to get this from her. The only caveat is that I get to ship her back some of the freeze-dried dragon fruit, but I get to keep some of it as well. So hang with me and we'll see how freeze-dried dragon fruit goes. I'm going to go ahead and get these cut up and ready to go. Dragon fruit is kind of like a banana. From what I have figured out so far is I just cut the bottom off, and then this will peel just a lot like a banana. Just peel that pink skin right off of there to get down to the fruit inside. If you've never had dragon fruit, to me it seems to be a little bit of a combination of like a kiwi and a cucumber as far as flavor goes. But the texture is much more like a kiwi. It also has seeds like a kiwi. Because of that, I think this is going to take some extra time to freeze dry. I'm going to let this go the extra full 24 hours of extra dry time because of those seeds. I just am not sure how quickly those will dry out. So once I get it like that, I'm just going to slice these to about that 1/4 inch thickness. I'm going to do 2 layers on a parchment paper lined tray. So I'll put a layer down, parchment paper, layer down, parchment paper, layer down. And I'm going to go ahead and get my ginormous pile of dragon fruit cleaned up. And I'll show you those trays once they're ready to go in the freezer. Well, I've finished slicing up all of the dragon fruits. I have 2 trays that have 2 layers and 2 trays that don't have 2 layers. So when I go to put these in the freeze dryer, these trays that have 2 layers on them will go in the middle 2 racks of my medium, and the ones with a single layer will go on the outer racks of my medium. But for now, these are going to get in the freezer, so they'll be frozen solid before I put them in my freeze dryer. I added a little bit of extra dry time beyond my 24 hours of extra dry time yesterday evening just to make sure I would be up and ready to shoot the rest of this video this morning. So I'm right at actually 24 hours of extra dry time. With the seeds in the dragon fruit, I decided I just wanted to blanket 24 hours. Kind of like strawberries. I think some moisture could hide in those seeds. So let's go ahead and check on these and see what they're looking like. I had put my trays that only had a single layer of dragon fruit on the bottom and the top. And then my double layers were in the middle. So I'm just going to take a piece, and it's warm clear through. It's crispy. That's actually really, I think I like this better freeze-dried than fresh. That's really good. So again, I need to check probably the bottom layer here. Pull one of these out. Break it in half. It's also crispy. You know what? Those are a little bendy. Not crispy. So what I think I'm going to do is take these single layers out and then run this double layer for a few more hours. I'm going to make the double layer single layers as I put it back into my freeze dryer. So let me get that accomplished and then we'll set them back in. So I went ahead and I left the bottom layer on the trays they were on, putting those back in the middle. And then that top layer, I'm pretty sure it's done, but it won't hurt. You can't over dry it. I'm going to go ahead and put that top layer from those trays on those trays I just emptied and slide those back in. And we're going to give this another 3 hours. Could just be lots of different things on why that was the way it seemed like as they were sitting there, even just that little bit they cooled off, they got crispy. I'm going to be safe and put the extra 3 hours on. We'll check this out in a little bit. So I went ahead and I left the bottom layer on the trays they were on, putting those back in the middle. And then that top layer, I'm pretty sure it's done, but it won't hurt. You can't over dry it. I'm going to go ahead and put that top layer from those trays on those trays I just emptied and slide those back in. And we're going to give this another 3 hours. Could just be lots of different things on why that was the way it seemed like as they were sitting there, even just that little bit they cooled off, they got crispy. I'm going to be safe and put the extra 3 hours on. We'll check this out in a little bit. So these have actually ended up going for about an extra 7 hours. I had some errands to go get done. So pulling these out, these were the top ones. I'm not as worried about them. It's these ones that were on the bottom that I put back in the middle. And they're now nice and crisp. So I do believe these are completely done. So we're gonna go ahead and bake these, and then I will give them a check tomorrow to see if they are starting to get soft or not, just to be on the safe side. I ended up with 3 bags of dragon fruit from my trays, so 1 layer from 2 trays in each bag. I did not seal these yet because I wanted to make sure they were not going to get soft before I added my OA and got these sealed for good. So let's go ahead and check and make sure that the moisture from the seeds is not making these soft. So we're looking at these here, and that is still nice and crisp, breaking like it should. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick taste test. Yes. That is still excellent. So these were completely dry. I'm going to go ahead and add my OAs and get these sealed up. Dragon fruit is a definite win. This is excellent freeze-dried. I actually think I like it better freeze-dried than fresh. So this is something, if you've never tried it, I would highly recommend it. It would be a nice sweet treat, whether it was because there was a situation where you were needing it or you take it on a trip with you. This could probably be good added to smoothies, all kinds of stuff. So if you've ever done dragon fruit, do you eat it just as is, or do you have some recipes? If you like the content of this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see my videos as they come out each week, go ahead and subscribe below. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Adventures in Freeze Drying.